I'm Tinny from Mini Bull Design, and today, just for the heck of it, I thought I'd do a little video and yet again do red beans and rice. This time actually do some camera work and show you what it was like to cook it. The reason I'm doing that is I like the red beans and rice, and I'm trying to get my way through it so I can make another batch and maybe change a couple of things. But I don't think Sue will let me make another batch until this one's gone. So I gave a couple to Robert, and that leaves me with like 10. There was like 4 that I ate before I dehydrated it. Sue ate a couple. So that means I got like 6 left. I've eaten probably 4, so I've got at least a couple of more, maybe 3 more to go. So that's my problem, not yours. I think that one of the things that would go along good with this, since this 1 cup serving, as near as I can tell, is 325 calories. So it's a little light on calories. You're going to want something to go with it. So I was thinking if I had some, maybe tortilla or tortilla. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. It's Mexican. I think it's spelled tortilla, but it's actually pronounced tortilla. And a flour tortilla. Which I just happen to have one right here. And I think this will go well with that. Now, I'm not even going to heat it. I'm just going to kind of dip it in the red beans and rice and eat it along with it, because this is like 250 calories, which is, you know, within 75 calories of the main meal. So 250, 350, 455. It's going to be about a 600 calorie meal between the two of these. And that's not bad. It's a little light backpacking, but for every day, it's not bad. Now, to give you some idea, I try to keep the calorie count to weight ratio to 125 calories to the ounce, and this weighs 3 ounces roughly, so it should have 375 calories. It's only got 325, so it's a little light on calories, but I've got some ideas on how to make it a little bit richer on the next batch I make. So, let's get into this. First thing I'll do is I'll take this out of the bag, dump it in here, and then put the camera on it so you can see what it looks like dry. I'm going to take the camera off the tripod for that. Okay, let's see if we can get some light on this and see what it looks like dry. Okay, there you go. I think that's a fairly good representation. You can see the pieces of kielbasa in there and the dry and some of the beans. Now, one of my first concerns was that the beans wouldn't rehydrate. I've had kind of tough luck with rehydrating beans, but Babelfish 5 said to put enough water in so you have a ½ inch over the top. So that would be enough water so that when this is in this cup, this is a Snow Peak 700 cup, that you have a ½ inch of water, about the thickness of your little finger, over the top of the meal. Then bring it to a boil, and after it's come to a boil, I boiled it another couple of minutes, fairly fast boil. Then I put the lid on and let it set for a full 25 minutes. In fact, I let mine set for ½ an hour. And doing that, and the fact that you've got the meal in here with cold water, so it's going to be in there all the time, the water's heating up, that's going to add extra cook time to it. So between that and the 25 minutes wait time, which is a fairly long time to wait for a dehydrated meal, between the two of those, the beans completely rehydrated and were fine. They weren't the least bit tough. So, that having been said, let's get to cooking it. My weapon of choice for cooking this is the new Moab 2 stove. And I'm going to use a nipple cap that fits right on a heat bottle. Now, the first batch of these I put out, I put the same seal on the inside as I do on the regular nipple caps. And because the tops on these bottles are really nasty and the threads are all over the place, it didn't fare that well. So if you bought one of these and it has a blue seal inside of it, email me and I'll send you some of the new seals. The new seals I'm putting in are made out of rubber, and they seem to work so far. Now, as this will be a test today, so far they seem to be fine. I haven't any problem with them at all, but time will tell. So if you bought one of these nipple caps for a heat bottle and it has a blue seal in it, just email me, because I know it's probably going to fail, and I'll send you some of the neoprene, the rubber ones that I'm putting in now. I'll send you 3 or 4 of them. That should be a lifetime supply. Now on the new ones, I've put a seal right over, a spare one right over here before I put the tube on, so when you get it, it'll have a spare seal that if the first one fails, you'll have a backup. Okay, so I'm going to fill this stove up, and I'll put enough alcohol in it so that it gets completely wet, and then just set the bottle off to the side like that. And that seems to work pretty well. And I've got 3 rocks here that I'm going to use for a pot stand, just because, I'll let you get a closer look at this, just because I really like using the rocks. It's really neat. Just seems a little more realistic, more like something you do out in the wild. Yeah, and I think that'll work right there. Okay, all we've got to do is light the stove, and we're in business. So that's the setup I've got, and there's the meal. You can see about a ½ inch of water over the top, and I'm going to put my regular Snow Peak 700 lid on and let this come to a boil, and when I do, I'll turn the camera. Okay, let's take a look at this and see how it's doing. Yeah, you can see we got a good boil going there. And try not to fog up the lens here. You can see what it looks like. When this is done cooking, it will absorb pretty much all of the water in the pot and thicken up quite a bit. So I'll turn the camera back on once I get done with this, because I've got to let it set for 25 minutes. Okay, it's been 30 minutes, so let's take a look at this and see what it looks like. Okay, like I said, once it sets, it thickens up quite a bit. So you can see now it's that thick, saucy, stick to your ribs like Babelfish 5 says, and it is really good. So I guess the only thing left to do is to eat this. And it's a price you have to pay for doing these videos, but you know, somebody's got to do it. So got a tortilla. Now, I didn't put this in a cozy. I just cooked it right in the Snow Peak 700 and set it off to the side with no cozy around it. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but the steam's rolling right off this. It's too hot to eat. And it dehydrated just fine. So I'm thinking this time of year, you really don't need the cozy. Whew. That is really good. Home cooking. I'm simply amazed with these recipes he comes up with. I think I'm going to try the Aztec one he's got on his website now. Now his website is on YouTube. It's Mr. Babelfish 5. And some of the videos I've got on my Mini Bull Design website in the adventure section, but only 1 or 2. But I'll be putting out more as I keep going. YouTube changed the code, and Robert showed me how to fix it, but I kind of lost my way, so it'll be a day or 2. But you can go right to YouTube and just type in Mr. Babelfish 5, and I think they'll come right up and you can watch them. This particular red beans and rice is 2 or 3 further back. I think the latest one is Aztec something. It's got corn in it and all kinds of stuff. And it looks good. Corn, squash. So I'm Tinny from Mini Bull Design. Get out and hike, take a friend, enjoy the great outdoors, and enjoy some really great meals with your alcohol stove. And more important than anything, have a really great day. Bye-bye.